Good morning. I know I don't usually start off with when I'm not in. I usually start recording once I'm in the car, but I got to making breakfast this morning. Dude, check this out. Sheesh. We got the yams, the chicken. I'm cooking up a little bit more asparagus right now. Dude, asparagus is crazy. Get you some olive oil. Just like drown the pan. Drop the asparagus in there. A little bit of salt. A little dash of pepper. Dude, that's what life's about. I'm now convinced that asparagus is my new favorite vegetable. I think it's a vegetable, right? Or maybe, I don't know if it's just the way I prepare it, but it's so... shout out to Avery, because he put me on asparagus, and I feel like it's my duty, my moral duty now to make sure that everybody else knows about asparagus. Dude, it's so good. I highly recommend it. This is like, I think I'm about to kill like a whole pack that we just bought the other day too. So I almost feel bad because I thought like I was gonna have enough for leftovers, but at the same time I don't. I will say though, if you start eating it, it's very fiber rich. So if you know anything about fiber, you know this is where we're at now. Almost done with the yams. I just have one more chicken titty left. We got the last batch going right there. Good day, beautiful people. We're again going to the gym. Not super late, a little bit later. I'm definitely gonna be hitting peak hours there, so it's gonna suck because I'm gonna have to be fighting for the machines and shit. How are y'all though? How y'all doing? I finally got the Celsius. Our fit going crazy today. For anybody that's watching this, if you are a guy between the ages of like, I don't know, however young you are, that doesn't matter. If you're like my age or younger, so like I'm 20 or younger, and you don't got girls talking to you, you're not talking to any girls, like you seem like you're getting rejected a lot, take a look in the mirror first and just think, okay, do I like what I see? You know, like do I love this guy? Because you want to make sure you love yourself, but like look in the mirror and be like, okay, like, you know, how do I feel about the dude that I'm seeing right now? If you say that you're ugly and that's the reason you get rejected, okay, well, what does your ugly look like? Because here's the thing, even if you got like messed up face, I got messed up teeth, and people ask me like, oh, when are you gonna get braces? I'm gonna be honest, dog. I'm not gonna lie, and this probably isn't the best thing to say, but like I'd rather spend my money on other stuff. Like I can still chew, they work. Yeah, I gotta floss a little bit extra here and there, but I mean outside of that, they're cool. If anything, like with my contacts, like the reason I can wear these and not a pair of glasses is because I decided to invest in contacts before braces. And not just that, I mean, for the most part, I got big teeth, big upper teeth, so when I smile, like you see, no, not big teeth, I have an overbite. And so when I smile anyway, you see my front teeth before my bottom teeth, and my bottom teeth are really what's jacked up. But that's the thing, it's just making the most out of the cards you're dealt. If you think you're not like as physically attractive as you could be, you're probably right. Whether you're skinny or you're fat, and I say fat, like I'm gonna say it like that, right? Because I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If you're fat, you're skinny, or like you just, you know, whatever your body type might be. This mainly goes to men, but I feel like I'm probably talking about just general like self-improvement. So any girls watching this, you could probably follow along with the advice. But how do I say it? If I was directing it at women, I would be a lot nicer with how I say it. But for the sake, because I know it's more men that see this or that are gonna see this, I gotta be a little bit more blunt, so just bear with me. If you're unsatisfied with the way your body looks, and there's certain things you gotta recognize that you can't control. Height is one of those things. There's stretches, yeah, there's certain conditioning. Don't put, like, if you're short, and by short I mean like what's the average in the US, like 5'8", 5'9"? We'll say like if you're 5'8" and shorter, like don't put lifts in your shoes, embrace your height. If you can rock Air Forces and make it look good, that's cool. But like if you're wearing Air Forces solely for like the height lift, that's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. Because I there's a point in time where I used to wear Air Forces, not for that reason, but like because I thought they were cool. I had gotten my first pair over quarantine, and they were cool. But then I realized like how much they added to my height, and like me being more on that shorter end, I'm 5'7", so I'm like, yeah, I feel like when I wear these, like, people might say something. And even then, they were all right. They were kind of like, they weren't that comfortable just because they felt like they were heavy, and I like to feel a little bit more mobile, more agile, you know. So I didn't really like them. So height you cannot control. There's gonna still be girls that'll talk to you or that are gonna be interested in you, but if it's not because of your height, then just let them, or excuse me, if they don't mess with you because of your height, just let them go, let them walk. No one's that important for you to simp over, to cry over, right? So that's that. But here's the thing: if your height is out of the question, you got to make sure you got a good personality. How you do that? If you're ugly or you see yourself as ugly, chances are you've had to compensate your lack of looks for something else. That way people are at least a little bit more intrigued by you, or at least, you know, are like willing to hang around you, be like a little bit. But like, here's my thing. When I was growing up, I wasn't like horrendously ugly. I was like nerdy. But because I never really like got into clothes, I never really like did anything, and I didn't start working out till like I got into high school, and like I was doing sports, but I didn't start lifting until like my last year of high school. So I always like thought of myself as ugly up until like about freshman year of high school. And so, but prior to that, like I was cool with everybody, even when I was like not, how do I say this? Like I didn't have girls flocking to me, but I was always cool with whoever I talked to, and I was like, I was funny. I could just build relations, and so that was cool. Praise God for that. So if you find that you're in a similar situation, take it. Don't take advantage of it, but make the most out of that, right? And don't lose sight of that, because if you have a glow up, or you know, you switch up and you start investing more in your looks, and then you start relying on that, nobody's gonna like you, even though you're hot now. Because why? Because your personality shit. Take a look at like anybody that you might see now, whether they're in your school, your work, whatever, that they're attractive and they have these crowds of people surrounding them, but it's likely it's only because of their looks. Because then when you go talk to them, they're so bland, you're like, bro, I don't even want to hang out with you, because you're boring. But if you can look good and be like fun or be cool to be around, that alone, you don't need anything. The money, the materialistic things, none of that is gonna matter, because you already provide so much value without material possessions, that's really what's more, that's what people are after more. Like, yeah, it's cool to have a cool car, a nice car, it's cool to have a nice house, a nice pad, but I tell you this, even when I was still even like I said, like my last couple years of high school, going into college, like I didn't have a whole lot of liquidity or a lot of assets myself, and yet like I was still able to like be fun for people, like provide like be fun to be around, and be funny and shit like that. So take note. What are we at? What are we at? So embrace who you are in terms of character. If you're a shit person, you're definitely gonna want to improve that. And you know you have a shit personality. Like, you'll know or not, right? If you have friends, that's probably a good sign that there's some qualities about you that are interesting. If you don't have any friends, well, have you gone outside to go talk to people? No? Okay, well, go do that. If you do and people still don't like you, then yeah, definitely question yourself. Again, physical appearance, if you're not going in the gym, that okay, do you go to the gym? Yes or no? If you select no, don't even question it. There's no way around it. Start going to the gym, even if you how do I say it? Because you can't. What did they say? Like, you can't. No, they say you can't fix stupid, but you're only as ugly as you allow yourself to be. Like, relatively, everybody has their own type that they like. So even if you're like a guy and you got kind of like you look like you might have been dropped, if you are buff or if you have like some muscles attached to it, then it's cool, because they're like, oh, you're not only inspirational, but then at some point, like with the opportunities and growth that comes from, you know, going to the gym, being healthy, being jacked, like it's it's not gonna present itself. Like a guy will look more ugly. Like let's say a guy just has, I don't want to say ugly, I feel like it's so easy to use though, so we'll just say like an unattractive face. He doesn't have like, let's say a strong jawline, doesn't, maybe has like some crazy eyebrows, you know, whatever quality nose you think is unattractive. Let's just say not the most attractive features, right? A guy that is either overweight or like super slender and has that kind of face is always going to appear more unattractive than a guy who has like a nice body. But why is that? It's because of the nice body. So point being, let's say you're like let's say you see yourself as a 3, right? Just by going to the gym and getting muscles, you're already up at like a 6 or 7. And I don't know about you, I mean, even though it's not a 10, like an 8 or higher, I would still take that rather than just still being a 3, because then that means you're at least a little bit ahead to get your body right. Eat fucking, dude, oh, it pisses me off when people are like, oh, I don't get why, like, I don't get why I feel like shit, why, you know, my body, like, I've been going to the gym, this, that, and the other. What are you eating? What are you eating? Because if you're going out and buying, if you're going to fast food, if you're eating out, if you're doing this, that, and the other, and if you're not going to a grocery store to get your food, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, because you can be eating a lot more cleaner, and you know you can be, but you're like, oh, like, I don't want to cook. That's so much work. All right, fuck you. Stay ugly then. Stay ugly. Stay unhealthy. That's you. Don't complain about it. Don't feel bad about it though. When you're not seeing the results you want. I'm telling you this. And even with the beginning of the clip, like, I'm not gonna lie. I said it, or I don't think I said it at that point. But my friend Avery put me on asparagus. I didn't even, dude. It's because of him and because of asparagus that, like, I started eating more vegetables, and because I was getting more micronutrients. Not only just like my body, dude. I realized like I'm bulking and my physique is insane, dude. Like I feel better. I'm about to start being able to quit like this shit officially because I've gotten my micronutrients in order. Like there's so much benefit to it. And then guess what too? That like what you eat. If you're eating clean, you feel good. You're gonna be more energized. You're gonna be fun to be around because you have that more of that energy. You're gonna be stronger, which means you're gonna look better. It's literally an upward spiral just by cleaning up the way you eat. So put down the fucking processed sugars, the fucking Rice Krispies, those chips, whatever the fuck you're eating, the pizza. Now, I'm not saying don't ever have those things. Obviously, you gotta indulge in yourself like every so often. But when it's like a daily thing, like I would say eat like shit maybe once a week. I say once a week because anything more than that, and you're already taking up like a good portion of the days that your body's already used to eating clean. Not just that, I don't know if anybody else is with me on this too. Let me know in the comments, because I really want to I want to know about this. But ever since I started like cleaning up the way I eat, and I've been cooking at home a lot more and eating a lot more, like I said, like healthier foods, my gut adapted to that. And so now when I go in, like, let's say I fuck with Little Caesars. I think Domino's is too like fluffy, too like thick for pizza, like too heavy. Papa John's is actually not bad. It's like if I couldn't get Little Caesars, I would definitely go for Papa John's, or I might even say Papa John's over Little Caesars. It kind of fluctuates. Damn, there's like no other pizza companies. Damn. Well, anyway, point being, right, the franchise, the commercial pizza places, like I love it. But now when I go and eat it, like I feel like I literally like feel like ill, like I feel sick after eating it. Same goes for even like Chipotle now. Like Chipotle, I gotta be like a little bit of a degenerate that day just so my gut can tolerate like having the food. Same thing goes for In-N-Out, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. Like I literally don't go out to eat anymore just because like I get an upset stomach from it now. So that's the thing, is like eventually your body will have its own incentive to where you don't even want to go out and eat anymore. Like sit down restaurants are a little bit different. I could get away with that, but like fast food restaurants especially, like, and it sucks because like when you go out to eat with your homies or whatever, and they want to go out to eat and they want to go to like Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, whatever, it sucks because I do gotta sit out, or I'll get maybe like some light that like it's kind of generic, like maybe like a little dessert, a little like soda, whatever. But for the most part, like, yeah, I gotta sit back from that. But even then, it's not like it's doing you any harm. It's like, yeah, you don't get to eat, but the better thing is you're not putting fucking like you're not putting like any poison in your body, which is nice. So clean up the way you eat. And I know I don't give a fuck how busy you are. Here's the thing: if you really want it, you'll make it happen. And here's the thing: if you haven't started now, very, 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 very unlikely you're gonna start later, unless there's like really good reason for this. And I'm not gonna list every scenario where, you know, it could be a good reason, because then you're just gonna try to justify yourself. But unless there's like a really good reason that you cannot make your own food, that you cannot go to the gym, other than that, if you have 2 working legs, 2 working arms, 2 working eyes, and a phone to listen to music off of, you should be going to the gym. I'm convinced there's no reason for it. And I like, dude, it pisses me off. But also, and I will say one more thing too: surround yourself with good people, like-minded people. If you notice you're not where you are in life, and yet all your friends are either doing drugs, like drinking not even every weekend, but for like 3-4 days out of the week, every week, or they're not working, they're not doing something, they're not being productive, or they're not learning, or they're not, you know, there's a whole bunch of things. But basically, if like your friends aren't doing things that not only do you want to do, but if they're not damn, that lighting, hold on. But if your friends aren't doing things that are, you know, if they're not better people than you, or if they're not aspiring to be better than you, or, you know, if they don't have high aspirations, then like you might have to find yourself some new friends. A majority of people in my friend group are either like making good money already, or they're in school, like in college, and not just for some bullshit like gender studies, or like getting a degree in math or English or something. No, I'm saying like engineer. I got so all damn near all my friends are gonna be engineers, and so that's pretty cool. Or like I got like electricians, people going to trade school. I'm going back to school to become like a nurse, which you just want to surround yourself with like really productive, really hardworking people, because guess what? Like, if you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with, if you got a bunch of fucking dudes hustling, guess what you're gonna become? If you got a bunch of dudes making money, guess what you're gonna start doing? If you got a bunch of dudes taking care of themselves, taking care of the way they eat, like being charismatic, being people, like being overall like successful people, guess what you're gonna fall? But if you got the opposite of that, then it shouldn't be any surprise that you are where you are, or that, you know, you're going to where you want to go, or excuse me, that you're getting the results that you're getting. So that's like my little spiel, right? I don't know what else. I think that was really like what came into my development, was like going to the gym, eating a lot more healthy, and I will say this as like a last footnote. Like, while you are transforming and becoming the person that you want to become by either acquiring new characteristics, or, you know, developing new social skills, it's very, very hard, and it can be very confusing to, like, let's say for example, like you want to start talking to girls, or, you know, being more social with girls, and you're like, okay, well, like what do I talk about, or like what do I do, how do I do it? Bro, the only difference that there is between talking to a guy and a girl is the fact that there's like a chance you want to sleep with one of them. And I mean, I'm not discriminating, I'm just saying, for my personal preference, I would assume it would be a girl. If that's not the case for you, I mean, you know, just swap the roles. But like there's no difference. Just if you tell yourself that there's no difference between talking to the two, you're gonna appear more natural. And like, let's say you're like, out of your group, your squad, let's say you're funny, or let's say you're like, you know, you're really fun to be around, you're a good listener. If you just do that, but for girls, they'll find you attractive, not necessarily for the same reasons, but like you'll still be labeled as attractive, and you're still being yourself. Like, you didn't have to, you don't have to pose, or you don't have to put up a front. Like, just by you being yourself, you're able to do that. The thing that's blocking you is the fact that you're overthinking it and being like, oh, this is a girl, it's like this, that, and the other, she's not gonna like me. Dude, don't even think, or don't even like care whether or not she finds you attractive, whether or not she likes you. Because the second you start thinking about all that, you get into your head, and then you start acting nervous, you start being awkward, you start doing this, that, and the other. So don't even sweat it. Just talk to her like any other person. And I'm not saying don't don't be like nonchalant. Don't act like you don't care, because that's fucking lame. Nobody wants to be around that either. And even if that's like what works for your environment, that like the environment that you're in, like at your school, at your work, whatever. If anything, be the opposite. Well, maybe not be the opposite, right? But don't follow the crowd. By not following the crowd, you'll be able to stick out even more. And then by, again, not following the crowd and not trying to be nonchalant and not trying to act like you don't care, you're going to have a lot more attention coming towards you. But, you know, with acquiring new social skills and shit like that, just fake it till you make it. Don't necessarily lie about certain things, but, like, if someone is, like, let's say, for example, you all of a sudden start talking to everybody at your school, at your work, and then people start being like, oh, man, like, you're really social. And that's, like, either the first, second, third day that you started talking out more. And people are like, oh, you're really social. Embrace it, because that's how you know you're setting yourself up right. Or let's say they're like, oh, you're really funny. Just be like, oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Like, if anything, accept the compliment, but then compliment them back, because then that's gonna be great. Like, oh, you know what? Like, I fuck with this dude. Man, I really wish I should probably make a video about that. About like my self-development. I think I tried to when I was doing like the podcast series, but it didn't like come out too good. It's crazy to think I am where I'm at. But yeah, here, don't be obnoxious either, because that's also annoying and nobody fucks with that. But moral of the story, because I just got here to the gym. Eat right. Okay, well first things first. You really want to develop yourself? Seek Jesus. Find Jesus. Like, learn, appreciate, and recognize who it was that died for you on the cross. Eat healthy, eat right. Maybe not even necessarily just eat right. Clean up the way you eat. Stop going out to eat. You save a lot more money going to a grocery store and buying food there. So just do that. Start going to the gym. If there's anything in your life that isn't consistent, the gym will be the only thing that's consistent. If you start going, you could lose your job, you could lose your family, you could lose your house, you could be homeless. But like, by still being able to like go to the gym, or even not even necessarily having to go to the gym, but by still working out, you're still gonna have some consistency, and opportunity is still gonna come from that. Go to the gym, talk to people, be nice, be kind. But not even that. If you already have friends, like, hang out with them. And if you're like anywhere between the ages of like 12 and 17 watching this, or even 18 and still in high school, I say this, and I know I'm not much older, right? But I say this: the friends that you have right now, probably closer to when you're like 15, 16, but the friends you have like at that point are likely going to be the friends you're still with like a couple years down the road. And if you haven't already been friends for like, if you haven't already been friends for like 3+ years already, or excuse me, if you've been friends for like 3 years or more by that point, they'll still be around. So don't even question or doubt like, oh, will they still be around? They'll still be around. So hang out with them like as much as you can. Don't like, not necessarily don't go out of your way, right? But like in a healthy manner. When they invite you out, go out. Or, you know, if you got the house to yourself, invite them over and like just chill, just talk, just be in that brotherhood, be in that kinship, because that's your future like family. Those are your future uncles of your kids that you're growing with, and it's beautiful. It's awesome. I gotta get going though, because I also gotta be somewhere right here in like another hour or so. I love you. God loves you. If you're watching this earlier in the day, you're gonna do great today. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna kick ass. May God be with you. If you're seeing this later in the day, great job today. You did amazing. I'm proud of you. I know you don't need me to tell you, because you already know how good you did. Praise God for the fact that you got to live and work another day. I love you guys so much. If you found this video entertaining, or you agree with me on some points, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you like hearing me yap in the car while I'm going to places. If you just wanna, even if you wanna just see more videos like this, definitely subscribe. Comment, leave a like. That definitely lets me know I'm not just talking to myself. But either way, I love you guys. Be safe. Have a great one. Peace.